The Lesson Learned by Kayla Stevenson. I am being woken up with a kiss on the cheek from my mom, and then from Dad. I slowly turn over in bed and stretch, grasping the moments before my parents leave me for work. It is only 8 o'clock in the morning, so they didn't want to awake their 7-year-old daughter. They knew that I needed my sleep, and if awakened, I will be a train wreck around the house the rest of the morning. Before they were able to leave my room, I popped my head up and smiled. Then they smirked back, knowing that they didn't do anyone else in the house a favor. I jumped out of bed and ran to them, sharing a strong grasp with both, expressing my hate for their need to leave. After I made them embrace my small body for so long, I got more kisses from my favorite, then watched them leave the house. I run to the front window and watch each car roll out of the long rock driveway. Waving a frantic goodbye, I start to realize they had left me for the entire day. I am the only one awake, practically alone to entertain myself. My parents are my favorite, but I am mostly home with my siblings, grandma, and uncle. Yes, I am sad that my mom won't be here to play, but I will settle with what I have. Grandma is usually awake by now, but I don't want to wake anyone up too early, so I go back to my room where my sister is sleeping peacefully. I grab my Barbies and lay back in bed to play quietly. I assume my Barbies get too loud once Brittany starts to move in her sleep, so I quiet myself until she is still again. I really want it to be a good day, so I decide to pack some things up and take them down to the living room. Right in the middle of the floor seems like the best place to play and soak in the bright summer sun. As I am playing, Grandma comes out in the best mood with her book in hand, ready to sit on the couch and read. I look at her. Being the ornery child I am, I just glare. My grandma's starting to get Alzheimer's, so it's hard for me to be patient, making it tough for me to interact correctly. I've been told to be nice or not to speak to her, but I don't know what's wrong with me. You can say I'm a brat to her, but I accept her good gifts and loving words. If I gain just the smallest amount of irritation, I will snap. When Mom or Dad is home, I am, for the most part, a great obedient child. But I have to admit, when they're gone, I feel as if all control of me is gone too. I continue to watch the TV she turned on with my dolls, wanting the time to go by. By now, it is 10, and Brittany is up to use the bathroom, so I run to her for no reason at all. Then, boom! She threw attitude for no reason, so I walk away, wanting to prevent myself from getting into any trouble. I re-entered the living room to play, but this wasn't fun anymore. I wanted to do something else. I asked Grandma to call my neighbor Lily to play, and she allows me to use the phone to call the girl. I go out to the front yard and meet her to play. Happily, I see her running to my yard with jumbo popsicles, our favorite snack this summer. It isn't too hot this morning, so we manage to stay cool and enjoy our time running around, catching bugs, and playing house like all young children. It is now almost 2 o'clock, and Lily must go back home for the plans that her family had today. So once again, I am alone, but I'm sure everyone is awake by now. I go back inside, and I'm greeted by my love, Angel, the nicest dog I have ever met and loved. Most dogs don't like me, but I'm grateful that she does. Inside, my brother, Taylor, is still in his room playing video games, and Uncle Larry's in his, watching TV on his big comfy bed. They are busy, but I want something to do, so I go back upstairs to see what trouble I could get into up there. Brittany had made her way into the living room where they were watching some game show that I didn't care to watch. No one wants to play, so I begin to throw a fit and overreact as much as I could for their attention. Of course, they tell me to settle down and to stop, but I'm going to continue to fuss until I get my own way. We are looking at each other, me against them, and I just look into their faces, enjoying the amount of annoyance filling their souls. Finally, my grandma came in. Fine, let's go outside to play. I look at her and smile as she puts her shoes on to go out. She's fairly old, so she sits on her two-person swing while she watches me kick a ball around. I sometimes don't appreciate her, but as of right now, I love this lady and enjoy when she watches me do my tricks. I run, jump, and kick, begging her to go deeper into the yard with me, but she refuses. My young temper unfortunately takes over, and I start to yell at her. I don't cry. I just yell and start to hit my grandmother like a terrible person. She grabs me and yells. Brittany and Taylor, curious, run out hearing all of the chaos. They are running towards me, and my mind is fluttering so fast. I just run into the house and lock the door so they can't come back in. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Fear is racing through my body, and it is only increasing at the speed of light. There they are at the door, furious with me, trying to get in, and I just stare at them with my courage growing. I think I will just keep them out the rest of the day. I can do it and prevent their anger and death wishes from coming to me. After a good while, they found an open window to put my sister in. I can't let them get me, so I start to attack the girl coming through the window just to save my own life. What have I done? I think they're going to kill me. Then I will die again when Mom and Dad come home. I keep hitting her, and I hear Taylor saying, "Don't do anything to her, I'll take care of it." Then Grandma shouts, "No, I want her. Oh my God, they're going to kill me." I regret everything that I have done today, but I can't go back. Finally, she enters the window and I run, but not fast enough because she is grabbing me, and we struggle to the door to let the other two in. Their faces are so terrifying, and I cannot imagine what will be coming next. But right then, they start to scream at me. I am now crying and pulling away from my grandma, who is trying to spank my bottom. So Taylor, the much stronger 16-year-old, holds me down to receive my punishment. Of course, I'm crying now. This is a battle that I have miserably lost. I'm being yelled at to go to my room and sit until my mom comes home, who usually gets back before Dad. She finally gets home after what feels like forever, and I hear her coming up to my room like she always does after work. I always am excited to hear her home, but today I am more than terrified to see her face. I know that she will be so angry, and I will finally be taught my lesson by her. She starts to ask me questions about what had happened earlier, and instead of yelling, she just has a long talk with me about what I did wrong. We both went down so I could apologize once again. This situation made me understand not to disrespect my grandma or anyone else because there will always be major consequences that I will have to deal with. After this incident, I realized that being crazy and cruel was not worth what came afterwards. It changed my life because I saw how terrible I was to my family and regretted the whole thing. I'm so young and still learning, so I am glad that I have been taught the difference between right and wrong before it was too late. I didn't really care about my actions and how they affected the people around me. All that I've done upset my family, made them mad, and very much disappointed them. The outcome of my actions were extremely bad, considering that I was looked down upon, punished, and no one really paid attention to me anymore. They will start to forgive me after some time, but for now, I am no one's favorite person to be around. After this has happened, my mom probably won't trust me, and I will be grounded. No playing with Lily, no going outside, and no going to the store. I really will be stuck alone with these people now. It is sad that anyone has acted this way and needed to be taught not to be disrespectful in this way. This was an impactful thing that will happen to me only once in my life. Looking back at what happened, I see that it was all unnecessary, but the amount of discipline I received afterwards was just the right amount. It was what I needed, and I am actually grateful that it took place.